energy, like literally I felt the energy vibrating off my phone. To imagine to be there, I couldn't even imagine the feeling. So I feel like that should first and foremost be a goal, a future goal to work towards. If for whatever reason you couldn't attend this year, that should be one of your future goals that you should be already working towards on your vision board, because it's a game changer to feel that energy, to be in the moment, to be so present and just be there with everyone who has such a clear vision. And it's like, it's almost like a one track mind all together to be there. I couldn't even imagine the feeling. So that's first and foremost where we should all be thinking ahead, right? So I want to start off by, in the chat, I want you guys to write down your goals and your visions for this month. So I want to start off by that, because that where that's going is kind of where this whole Zoom will be taking us. So I don't want you to just write, 2 promoters and 5 customers, right? Those are goals. I want you to write those, but I want you to write your action plan to get you there. Because I think a lot of the times in the beginning of the month, we might start out and we might write down a lot of amazing goals, right? Whether that's writing on pen and paper, writing it, thinking about it, talking out loud, whatever it might be. We have in the beginning of the month, we have that hype, right? We are full blown, we're going full force. We have these amazing goals, amazing visions for ourselves. But a lot of the times I feel like writing out the action plan to get us there is missing. And when that's missing, a lot of the times you stick with those goals and visions and you kind of run with it for the first couple days, maybe the first week and a half of the month. And then if you're not achieving those goals or visions, you might just start slowing down. And then your whole plan is just diminished. And I feel like a lot of the time that is because you kind of just hype yourself up, but you don't write out an action plan. So I want you to not only writing out your goals and visions in this chat, holding ourselves accountable, I want to hear and see the action plan that you're going to take to get yourself there. Because that's the whole key, is the action, right? The action behind it. So going off that, and still I'm going to scroll through these too just to see. I want to kind of take that and then really when I wanted to host this training, something automatically just clicked to me. And I was like, you know what? We're just coming out of a time period of those amazing bonuses, right? And a lot of the times I've seen what's happened is if you don't hit those bonuses, a lot of people can get really discouraged. And I wanted the kickoff of May. We're coming out of that goal bonus period. And I wanted to nip things in the bud, right, actually, because a lot of the times, like I said, we just came out of these bonuses were life-changing. So many lives were changed. So many people hit them. They were absolutely incredible. But some of us didn't. And that's okay, because you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And I want you to actually do this, because I feel like there's like a lot of pieces that go along with ensuring that you stick to your goals and actions, are doing a lot of like little things that you might think like, oh, that's silly, I'm not going to do it. Like, for instance, who started out in this industry thinking self-development wasn't a thing? Like, I don't have to do that to be successful. Me, I was like, no, I'm not listening to that. Like, I started in an old gig, but I would get sent like a video and I'd be like, that's stupid, I'm not going to do that. Like, what is that going to do? Change your mindset. That's what's going to do. That's what it's going to do. So I want you to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, physically looking at yourself. Have you done the work that needed to be done in the past months of the bonus opportunities that we had? I want you to take a look at those past months. Were you doing the work that you know you should be doing? Now, if you were doing the work and you didn't reach a goal, That's okay. And I want you to know that. And I want you to really feel that that's okay. Because it wasn't your season yet. It wasn't your timing. And that's okay. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and think and ask yourself, did you do the work? If the answer is no, and you didn't hit the goals, okay. Now we know where we need to tweak things. Now we know where we have to fix it. And that's going to be part of our action plan for May, right? So the reason why I wanted to speak on this is because, like I said, a lot of the times when we come out of these periods of like bonuses or even lifestyle getaways, like earning the lifestyle getaways, a lot of people tend to feel discouraged by that. They could take those negative energies of, oh man, I didn't hit that goal. Oh, crap, I didn't rank up. I didn't hit that lifestyle getaway, whatever that might be. You might take those negative energies and guess what? They carry into the next month. And then what does that happen? What happens? I can't talk. I have like mom brain. Sorry. What happens when you take those negative energies and put them into the next month? Well, it's a snowball effect, and it's going to lead you to continue to not hit those goals, continue to start to, okay, well, I didn't hit that goal. I tried my best. I did everything. Well, what's the point? If I didn't hit them last time, definitely not going to hit them this month. Well, but why? Why are you thinking that way? You're immediately throwing in that negative energy. And that is completely, when you throw in a negative or toxic belief, you guys, you don't understand. There is literal science behind it. When you think negatively or when you speak negatively over a situation, your body just it just absorbs that negative energy. And that's, your body just automatically starts to think and do things that go along with that negative energy. Like I'm not explaining it correctly in like the scientific way, but it's literally, your mindset is everything. Like if you wake up and say, oh, it's raining out, today's gonna be so crappy, guess what? You're gonna have a bad day. When you wake up and say, oh my gosh, it's raining, good, my flowers are gonna grow because I just planted flowers, great, good, you're gonna have a better day, okay? You have to think like I said, it might be the most cliche of things, or you might think like that is so stupid, but your mindset, your brain is literally the center of your body. You need to nourish it, you need to nurture it, and you need to constantly grow it, okay? So when you think like, so when we send you like podcasts to listen to, videos, motivational speeches, motivational speakers to listen to, we're not just doing that for like the fun of it. Like we actually, there is proof in the pudding there. When we listen to it, you know that you're going to set yourself up for success. Maybe just for that day, even if you need to take baby steps, okay? When you're goal setting, maybe some of you can't think even 2 weeks ahead, let alone for the full month. That's okay. Take it day by day, right? So if you need to break it down into, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z tomorrow in order to go sell a sample. Okay, that's fine. Just continue to do that every day. Because I want you to realize, yes, Britt, the compound effect. When you do those small actions daily, and again, it is those tiny, minuscule actions, they build up into your main successes. That is what breeds success, the compound effect. If you haven't read that book, first and foremost, go purchase it right now on Amazon. It's amazing because I always reference back to a lot of things and a lot of metaphors that he speaks on because it's just so true. But I feel like a lot of the times when people are discouraged coming out of the gate, right? After, like I said, a bonus, lifestyle getaway, ranking up, you really wanted to sign that promoter, you really wanted to sign, 10 customers, you only got 2, whatever it might be. When you feel discouraged right at the start of a month, that sets the tone for the entire rest of your month. So unless you have the ability to check yourself when you see that you're headed down a negative or toxic path in terms of your mindset, I think the best thing that we could offer ourselves is the ability to check ourselves, to check that mindset. immediately. I've built that ability over the years, and I have to honestly say it is the one thing that I lean on a lot, because bad days happen, negative thoughts seep in. You might have really wanted to hit that goal and you didn't reach it, and that's okay. But still, it might burn a little bit, right? Like, ooh, all right, I really wanted to do that, but you know what? I didn't. So it might sting. That's okay. You're human. You're allowed to feel that, right? But you also have to notify your brain and be like, but we're not dwelling on that. We're not going down that path. Like, yeah, it sucks maybe, but we're going to do so much more, because God doesn't allow you to reach certain things. He protects you from things from yourself, right? Because we don't know what going down one path might lead us to, but God does. So when he doesn't provide a certain goal that you might have wanted, right? Or a certain rank or a certain person or a certain customer or a certain bonus. If he doesn't provide that, it's not because he's not going to give you success. It's not because he's not going to provide. It's because he's protecting you, because he knows you weren't ready. Because if you're not ready for something and you get it, guess what? It's not going to be put to good use. It's not going to be as bountiful as it should be when you're actually ready for it. When you're not ready for that success, he's not going to give it to you, because he's not setting you up for failure, okay? So you have to realize you have to stop setting yourself up. And where does that start? Checking yourself if it's not, and starting out a month stronger than when you ended it, no matter the outcome of the month before. So when you're starting, so actually it's a really awesome time, because it's springtime, right? So in spring, everything is blooming. So you should be heading into this month as everything will be blooming. Everything that you worked for in the bonus month period, like in the bonus, the 3-month period, if you did not hit a bonus, or if you did, everything that you did, everything that you worked for, all that hard work, all the long nights, all of the, long hours, whatever it might be, that was for a purpose. And I want you to realize that is not going unnoticed. There is a purpose behind every single conversation you had, post you made, story you put up, content you created. There is purpose behind every single one. Every single customer you signed, every single promoter that you spoke with, every single potential that you spoke with, there is purpose behind each one. So, there is purpose behind each one, okay? And I want you guys to realize that. It's not going to go unnoticed. Maybe right now you cannot see it. You can't see the vision, because you're like, you know what? I worked my butt off. You might feel that you worked harder than you ever did in these 3-month periods. But you know what? Good. Why? Because you have to plant so many seeds in order to get the beautiful flowers and fruit that you need in order to breed success. You can't plant the seeds and then dig them up and expect to have fruit, right? It just doesn't work that way. So all of the time, all of those weeks and months that you put in the work, you planted the seeds, you had the conversations, you showed up to the work with me, you showed up to the Zooms, you did the trainings, that is going to start to blossom. All the work behind the scenes that you did, even when you don't think that you achieved those goals, you did in hindsight. Because those goals that you wrote down or didn't write down, just thought of them to yourself for the previous months, all of the work that you put in during that time, those goals are now going to flourish in the right time. Maybe it's not this month. That's okay. Keep going. Because guess what? You You don't know when those goals are going to start to come and start to flourish and start to blossom, right? You don't know it. God does, but we don't. So when we decide, you know what, I'm going to give up, I'm done. Well, what if you were going to sign that promoter that is going to hit 4K, is going to hit VIPs, is going to go, is going to go, is going to go, is going to go? What if you were going to, sign that customer who desperately needed our 3 steps for health reasons? What if you were going to do X, Y, and Z the next day, but you decided to give up? Right? You don't know. You do not know what's around the corner. You don't know what's to come tomorrow. But all you can do, and what all you do know, is you do know what you're capable of in terms of actions. You do know what goals you want to achieve. And guess what? We know the work that needs to be done. Whether or not you've done it in the past, we know the work that needs to be done in order to get ourselves to where we want to be, in order to get ourselves to the goals. Okay? But we don't know when it's just going to pop. We don't know when the flowers are going to blossom. This is a really weird analogy, but so I'm from New York, but I live in Maryland for the past couple of years now, and apparently in Maryland, like, the cicadas are coming. Anybody deal with cicada? They're disgusting. I'm freaking out. I can't. I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, though, apparently they're coming out since the past like 17 years. But so everybody's preparing for it, right? Everybody's like, ooh, like, okay, like cicadas coming, like it's the season. There are so many scientists like waiting and watching and researching, but guess what? They cannot tell us exactly when they're going to come out. Okay. So they have these scientists ready to watch the first they come up from the ground. They're like prehistoric, ready to watch this first bug come out of the ground, but they can't tell us exactly when it's going to happen. Oh, geez. Gosh. I'm like vibrating my table because I'm so hyped up. But they can't tell us when it's going to happen. Okay. So I'm trying to prepare for this great or big show of cicadas, but they can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen. They could tell you how to prepare. They could tell you how to deal with the cicadas, how to coexist with them, but they can't tell you when. So it's kind of similar to your success, right? So we could tell you the tools to go, to get there. We could tell you how to do things. We could tell you the trainings. You could write down all your goals. You could start to prepare for all of the success, but you're never going to know when it's just going to pop, right? So what a disservice to yourself if you just decide that one day you're just going to give up because it didn't happen fast enough for you, or if it didn't happen in your timing, or if it didn't happen when you thought it should happen. But you just give up, and you don't know what's to come down the line. You don't know when it's about to come. What a disservice that is to you, to your team, to your potential team that might have been watching you, and then all of a sudden they message you one day and then you're no longer there, or you no longer answer because you're no longer doing this, because you gave up because it didn't happen in your way. I could probably tell you that every person that if you watched Thrive-A-Palooza, or if you watched on stories or videos, whatever, or the lives, every single person that walked on that stage, I bet can tell you their success didn't happen when they thought it was going to, or when they wanted it to. I'm probably going to say pretty much every single person, because success doesn't just happen, right? Right. Lost rank once. So not only does it not just happen, right? It's work, it's effort, it's consistency. But it's not just, okay, I've achieved it, and now I'm not going to do anything. Or, okay, I've achieved it, and it's going to stick and it's going to stay. Absolutely not. It will stay and stick if you make it. If you continue to be consistent, if you continue to do the work that needs to be done, you have to keep going. Like Britt said, they lost rank. That could happen. But then did they say, oh, you know what? I lost it. That's it. I'm out. No. They might have thought it, but did they do it? No, because they wouldn't be walking across that stage if that had happened. Think about it, you guys. If you have worked so hard for something and then it's not going your way, it's not happening quick enough, or whatever it might be, that excuse in your head, and then you're like, you know what? I'm going to step back. But then maybe one day, a week, a month, whatever it might be later, you're like, you know what? I want to hop back in. Guess what? A lot of the times you got to start back to square one. Maybe not fully square one, but you've taken some step backs. You need to start working forward again. Now you've pushed yourself even farther away from that success if you just stuck with it. So my biggest message here, you guys, is I want you to realize that we're coming into a new month, okay? The reason why I had you write out all your goals with an action plan is because if you know the actions that you need to do, we all know them, right? We're not stupid here. We all know them because we've been given the tools that we need to really get to where we want to go, right? So we all know the actions. Now, by putting them in the chat, by writing them down, they should be holding you accountable. I did that for a reason. I want you guys to be held accountable. We should all hold ourselves accountable. By knowing what you need to do, by taking any negativity, lack, whatever happened last month or during the entire bonus period, whatever might have happened, put that away, any negativity. Take any positive from that experience with you into this month. Any of the hard work, any of the effort, any of the consistency, take that with you into this month because that's going to continue. But any of the negativity, toxic, that is left behind, okay? We're coming into a new season. Spring has sprung. It's going to start to bloom. We're going into a beautiful season physically. Now, metaphorically, everything that you did before in the winter is now going to prosper, okay? But that doesn't mean that you could just sit and wait and watch, right? You can't just wait and watch all the seeds that you planted before and not do any work now, right? You still need to water them. You still need to nurture them. You need to still help them grow. So you need to still do all of the steps that you've taken before. You need to continue on. You need to continue doing those. Keep doing those because that's going to get you where you want to go. But evaluate what you could leave behind. Maybe you had one too many excuses. Maybe you had, whatever it might be during those past months, whatever that might be, the negative, the lack mindset, we're leaving that all behind, but we're taking those as lessons too. We want to learn from those mistakes, essentially. We want to learn from the things that held us back, but we're going to keep them there in the past. Moving forward, we're going to take our goals. We're going to take our vision. We're going to create action. You need to take one simple action at the start of the month, and that is just to decide. That is to decide whether you're going to go forth towards your goals, do what it takes, what you know, what it needs to be done to get you there, or you're going to decide to continue to sit in the way you've been doing things, but maybe that's not the best way to go about things. If you've been doing something one way and it's working for you, do it. If you've been doing something and you're like, I don't know, like I feel like I could be doing more. I feel like I could be talking to more people. I feel like I can have more conversations. I feel like I could really make something of this business. You need to reevaluate your action plan. And then when you do that, you just need to carry that throughout your month. And that's really going to get you far. I promise you that. So just because you didn't get where you want to be right now doesn't mean it's not coming, doesn't mean it's not going to be there. All of your foundational work that you did is just that, foundation. You've built a solid base, okay? Every time I haven't reached a goal, every time I haven't reached a rank, when I didn't re-rank to a rank that I've achieved before, if I know I've done the solid work, if I've put in the effort, if I've been consistent, I've taken away the excuses, when I've done that, I could look at myself in the mirror and say, you've done the foundational work that needs to be done. Now, new month, we're going to take that foundation that we've just built, we're going to carry it over, we're going to take those steps that we've taken here, we're going to carry it over, and we're going to build. And you're just going to keep going, and you're going to keep building. So do not bring the negative thoughts with you here, because when you bring them for even a day, that sets the tone for your month. So sure, things might hurt, they might burn, they might sting, but we will not carry that over. We're going to check ourselves, because if you've done the self-development like you should be doing every single day, we all know that one little nasty thought that can sneak in will make or break your entire energy for the entire month. It'll make or break your mindset, not just for the day, for your week ahead. It will seriously and it might sound so silly, just one small little like gossip or one small little comment. When I tell you it does, it so does. Because from personal experience, I've grown from even my friendships from when I was in elementary school. I've left some of those friendships behind because they didn't breed success. They bred gossip and toxic people and toxic energies. And that was really trickling not only into my personal, but into my business mindset that I have. Because when I was surrounding myself with all of that, that type of energy, it was really getting to my mindset, and I was having a hard time snapping out of it. So you know what you do? You nip it in the bud, people. You don't allow that around you. You don't allow, and I don't care who it is, you don't allow the negative energy, and especially you do not allow that coming from yourself. That can't happen. Because a lot of the times, people might say, I don't have support from my spouse, I don't have support from my family, I don't have support from friends, my mom doesn't support me, this and that. Do you support yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Do you want to do this? Because guess what? You is all you need. You don't need anybody cheering you on. You don't need anybody in your corner. Sure, that's nice. That's great if you have it. But nobody even knows what we do in this business unless you're actually doing it. You know you the best. You know what works for you. You know what doesn't. You know what motivates you. You know what doesn't motivate you. You need to cheer yourself on. You need to believe in yourself. You started for a reason. Now continue. Just keep building. Always keep building. So going off of, I will wrap this up. I know we have a lot of travelers. I don't want to make it too long, but going into this month, going strong, regardless of what happened, success or lack of last month, the month before, regardless of what happened, go in this month strong. What's today? The second of the month. I don't care if yesterday or today were bad days. Tomorrow and for the rest of this month, it's going to be great because you have an action plan now. Okay. You have a clear vision. You have a clear goal. You will get there. You just keep building. The work you did previously is not going unnoticed. It's not going to be, it's for a purpose. It's not unpurposeful. I don't even think that's a word. There is a reason behind every single action you took. Realize it, accept that, and now carry it into this month. Britt, check me on the date, May 10th.
Yes.
Is camp?
Yes. So May 10th, I'm going to